Welcome to Team Perry's Step Out of Line podcast, featuring co-hosts Perry and Lori Finkelstein. Together, they explore, meet, and share inspirational stories with guests who have made a positive impact in today's world. This podcast resonates with our hope to make this world a better place one step at a time through love, acceptance, and uplifting conversations.
Jacob Fabry, wonderful athlete, apparently, a big baseball fan, which we'll have to talk about to see what his team is. And he also is involved working with kids who have physical disabilities. And he actually told us he was inspired by Perry's page, and Perry was actually inspired by what she has seen from him.
First, I want to thank you guys for having me on here. And then I've kept up with some of the interviews that you guys have done, and it's been inspiring. And so it's an honor to be able to talk to you guys finally face to face. And again, like I mentioned earlier, this is my first Zoom call. So what a way to break the ice.
Aww.
But yeah. Born and raised in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I went to college on a baseball scholarship and got to play 4 years there. And then after that, had a pretty lengthy career in the minor league systems for about 9 years. And then my last year, I was playing in Lexington, Kentucky, and about to move back home to Chattanooga and trying to see what opportunities were ahead for me. And I've always been, I've always had a close thought in my heart in the special needs community, but never really knew how I could get involved because my life, as long as I had been alive, had been consumed with baseball. You know, you have to it's a job, you know, you really don't get paid much, you know, until you make it to the big leagues. And, you know, it's such a small percentage of a small percentage that even get that opportunity. And, you know, I was realistic, was battling and gave my best foot forward in that pursuit. But in the summer of 2017, I was keeping up with the news back home, and I saw that Chattanooga was going to start what's called the Miracle League. And the league is an entity nationwide that I didn't even know about. Cities have their own league there, and I was reading more about it. And I initially contacted our head of the department here through the YMCA. Her name's Nicole Brogdon. I sent her an email saying, "Hey, Nicole, you know, I want to get involved in the Miracle League. I've done a little bit of research about it. I would like to be a buddy." And what a buddy is they show up on Saturdays, and they're assigned to one of our athletes, and they just kind of, you know, go around with them, spend the day with them, and encourage them. And if they need help, if they're in a wheelchair, you can push them around. If not, then you just stay with them and encourage them, you know, help them from base to base, and, you know, kind of just stay comfortable. You know, we really encourage the parents to, when they drop their player off, to sit in the stands and let us kind of take over. So I sent that email to her. Nicole responds back to me and says, "Hey, you know, we don't have any coaches." And I told her, you know, my background in baseball. And then whenever I was home in the spring, I've coached high school baseball the past 6 years. You know, this would have been a seventh, but we have the little bump in the road with our quarantine and COVID going on. So
yeah,
little bump. Got to make an adjustment. So she emails me back and says, "Would you like to be one of our coaches?" And initially, I was a little overwhelmed just because, you know, I thought I would try to get my feet wet in it first, and instead of you know, diving right into it and having all that responsibility, I didn't know what to expect. And, you know, I said, "So what? Yeah, absolutely, I'd love to be a coach." So now we were supposed to have had our last season this past March, but again, we had to postpone it. But we've had 6 successful seasons, one in the fall, one in the spring. And we have anywhere from 4 years old to, you know, 34, 35-year-olds every Saturday out there. We have like a rubberized field. It's very sensory friendly and very adaptable. And the camaraderie and inclusion that we have out there is you know, second to none. We really have a blast out there. So I guess long story short, I know I threw a lot of that at you, but it's been baseball, and then now transitioning into, post life in baseball and involved in the Miracle League. And then I also work for another nonprofit, a good buddy of mine named Sam DiMatteo. I met him through minor league baseball in 2013, and he runs a nonprofit called the SD Project, and that is another project where it started off raising money to give to kids where he lived in Pittsburgh that couldn't afford baseball lessons. It started off real small unit, and then later on I got involved in the Miracle League, and then so we kind of expanded. So Sam would come down, we'd raise money, we'd give some time one-on-one with kids here in my Miracle League, and now it's grown to where 2 years ago we flew out to the Dominican Republic. I've gone to Africa and run baseball camps there for kids and families that aren't as financially stable as some would be, and we just ask family and friends if they can donate a little bit of money here or there, so we can help spread goodness and let other people know that people do care and people do support you. And you know how it is, you get that you could be having a down day and someone just give you that pat on the back out of nowhere, and how much encouragement, just a little thumbs up, or say, hey, you know what, I got your back. So that's super long story short is that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
That's awesome. I love it. It seems like baseball is that catalyst that has brought so much good into your life, and as much as you're going to try to get away from it, you can't, because obviously this is what makes you, and you're able to give it the gift to other people. So it's pretty awesome.
It's absolutely. And you hit that nail on the head right there. And there was a point in baseball, like kind of toward the end of my career, where I wasn't really feeling sorry for myself, but it just hadn't gone the way that I had planned. Like you want to make it to the top in anything you do. You
right.
You never really want to stop defining your goals. And I started feeling sorry for myself, and I wouldn't say it was a bad attitude, but it was just not the right outlook. And I remember I came home, and here in Chattanooga we have a minor league team, a AA minor league team, and one of my friends was like, well, let's go watch a game. And I said, I don't even want to go watch baseball right now. It was such a sour attitude, and it just wasn't a right place to be. And then all of a sudden, I got an invite to spring training the next year, and then I got my mind right. And then I got involved in Miracle League, and then Sam DiMatteo's project was going on. And when I would get out of my own comfort zone and go help somebody else, it's just, the world is such a good place. You can find good in everything. There, misery does love company, and you can find bad, but it's a mindset. You really want to put your best foot forward and try to be as encouraging as you can. And baseball has brought that to me. So, yeah.
So we're talking about stepping out of line. Like Perry stepped out of line when she started doing marathons and realizing she's in a wheelchair, she has muscular dystrophy, but there's so much more that she could do for other people. And being a marathoner was her outlet and her way to connect with many people and encourage people. Would you say that getting involved with the nonprofits was how you stepped out of line, of your comfort zone, as you said, and this has changed your life?
Yeah, absolutely. With the nonprofit stuff, we, like I said before with Sam, we started off on the small scale where we would get a player from the league or from my team, and we would start one-on-one, and we would talk through parents. And every time that we've done it, it's always been a surprise. It's all, we will show up, and there's a sweet little boy named Andrew who was adopted by the family that he has now from Russia, and doesn't have any arms or legs, and but you would never know it. Out there on the field, when he's up to bat, he's going to hit that ball and he's going to run as fast as he can. He wants to be involved, and every time that I see him, I give him like a little pound. Great to see Andrew. He has a heart of a lion. And so we did a project with him and his family, and we took him rock climbing, and we took him to like a little gymnastics place and played with him the whole day. And I think if we stayed there for 2 entire weeks, she would have ran around the whole place the whole entire time. But if I had never gotten out of my comfort zone, if I had never stepped out of line to even send that first email to Nicole, say, hey, I want to be buddy, I never would have gotten involved in the Miracle League. Sam and his project, he never would have came down, and we never would have met. Andrew never would have met, a buddy of mine, Joel, never would have met someone named Brandon, a guy named Carlos that we've all worked with. I never would have met these people, and I would probably be doing something 9 to 5, where I just am not getting fulfillment out of it, or helping someone else and making sure that they have the encouragement that they need, and they encourage me back. It goes both ways, and I'm sure that you guys and Perry feel that same way, that it's give and take for everybody involved. And I don't think if I would have stepped out and sent that initial small little 2-sentence email, that the impacts in my life and other people's lives, and now it's just continuing to grow. My family's involved, my brother's involved, his friends are involved, and their friends are involved, would have never happened. It's that ripple effect.
Right.
Just that one small step.
Right. You built a whole team around what you are able to do. And we, I think, have the same thing. We started as a family doing it, and then we got friends involved and made runners out of people, and just people. We raise a lot of money for a charity called Lifeline. Perry has helped raise over $600,000 over the past 10 years. So, it's so exciting for us to be able to do it. And I know
very much so.
It's very exciting for you to be able to be involved in something like that. I was reading that you learned very young to mentor, because you encouraged your brother, I think it's 5.5 years younger than you are, your brother.
Yes, yeah.
And that's when you started teaching baseball and helping him. So you've been training your whole life, whether you realize it or not, for what you're doing now. Things always take you to a point where you're supposed to be. And this is where you're supposed to be at this point in your life, to be able to give to other kids, even though you're getting so much back. But the impact that you have, I'm sure, on the kids and the family is, they probably could never express it into words, the change that you have made in their lives. So we think you're pretty awesome.
Well, I think you guys are very awesome. So much so, the determination and Perry being a trendsetter and a role model. And there's something I've noticed in the videos and posts that you've done over the year and a half or so since I followed you. And this is also something that I tell my high school kids every single day. There's a few things that you can't teach. You can't teach kids. You have to make a conscious effort and decision in this. And that is every day when you wake up. You can't teach enthusiasm. You can't teach energy, and you can't teach mental toughness. And I think every day, and if you think about it though, enthusiasm, you don't have to be, over the top, but it's showing up every day with a good attitude, and you choose to be that way. And mental toughness, there's some days that are a lot harder than others, and then there are some days that kind of make it easier, or are easier, not make it easier.
Right.
Yeah, your energy. If someone you can walk by somebody, or you can be sitting there, they see you, and you have just a smile, or it's like walking by a stranger. What's it to you to not smile, or just give them a simple wave? And that's a conscious effort, to be that. And then again, though, that creates that ripple effect. And I just preach that to my guys, is mental toughness, energy, and enthusiasm. Every single post I see, Perry, I know that some days are hard, some days are easier, but every single, you have that consistency, and you've created that ripple effect to where it inspires me. And I was actually talking to you about, to my buddy Sam yesterday. I told him that we were going to be able to finally talk face to face and do this interview. And he said that he's going to start following and keeping up. And who knows the more amount that's going to create that ripple effect of just a positive that you bring every single, which is phenomenal. So,
we learned from doing marathons, because this will be my 12th year. Wow. My 12th year.
Wow.
And I've been pushing Perry for many of those years until we get to a certain point. And we train all year for it. But
Yeah.
it's really like a marathon when you think about it. And you always finish, you always get to the end, but it's how you do it. And sometimes it's easy, sometimes you're literally crawling, but it's really all in your mind. And you set your mind to do something. Like Perry works out most every day and
Yeah.
in pain a lot, and she's exhausted, but
Oh, it's for sure.
you have to do it. So I think it's really all in your mind that you really can accomplish anything. And learn from speaking to people, including yourself, is there is no limit to what one person can accomplish.
I fully agree.
You know, you're pretty young. You're in your 30s, and you've done great things so far in your life. I can only imagine what's left. How much more of an impact you're going to make on people around you, because we think you're very special in what you do, and we're for sure going to follow you, and we hope to see you possibly maybe in Miami. Maybe you'll want to do a marathon one day and you could meet us. So it's very cool what you guys can accomplish by just changing and adapting and adjusting, realizing your body is only going to last you a certain point on a professional level, and then what you do after. So, you know, it's just it's pretty interesting to see how careers are made. So we're so happy.
No, yeah, absolutely. And I think you said that. I really like that word, adaptable. So many times you get comfortable and you get complacent, and then times do change. And like there was an expiration date with baseball, and then whatever's next, and then whatever's next, and whatever's next, and you have to be adaptable. And again, though, it comes back to having that mental toughness and energy and enthusiasm every single day. And whatever curveball life's thrown at you, you're going to knock it out of the park. So yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Oh, thank you so much, Jacob.
Yes, absolutely.
From Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jacob, and stay well and healthy. And
guys,
keep making great posts. We're going to follow you, and
thank you.
I'm very excited to see what you do.
Well, thank you, guys. It was a pleasure talking to you, and y'all stay safe too.
You
Talk
too.
to you very soon.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, guys.